All right, so what we have here is we have some factoring practice. Now, most kids, 95 and 100, realize that to make a d squared, you need a d and a d. So let's think about our factors of 80, because the issue is going to be when we do this double distributive property, we get 2d back. Factors of 80 could be like 8 and 10, which I think is probably the winner. We could have like 4 and 20. We could have 1 and 80, obviously. What else we got? 5 and 16. And I'm sure I'm probably missing some more. Oh yeah, 2 and 40. There's a lot of factors of 80, but you want factors of 80 that add to 2. Now, by the way, it is a negative 80. I know that 8 times 10 is 80. And I know that 8 times a negative 10 is negative 80. But negative 10 plus 8 is negative 2, so I switch the order. Negative 8 times 10 is still negative 80, and negative 8 plus 10 is 2. That was what I wanted. So minus 8 plus 10. Now, I'm pretty sure you're supposed to do a couple things here. I'm pretty sure you're supposed to check your work by doing the FOIL method. No, it is fact, yeah, it says check your work using the FOIL method, okay. And you're also supposed to solve. So let's check my work real quick. D times D, D squared, plus 10D, minus 8D, minus 80. And that's going to work because 10 minus 8 is 2. Now it does say solve. You're supposed to use what's called the zero product property. So according to the zero product property, D minus 8 is 0, and, or, depending on how you look at it, D plus 10 is 0. And these are both one-step equations. This is add 8 to both sides, so D is 8. Subtract 10 from both sides, D is negative 10. Not too terribly hard. Next one I have earmarked as doing is 5. If you're going to factor, you have to be set equal to 0. So we're going to go ahead and jump that 35 over. And, we're going to kind of think of the same things. You talk about your 35. You can be 1 and 35. You can be 5 and 7. And 5 and 7 is the winner, because 5 minus 7 is negative 2. The issue kids have with factoring is not the concept of factoring, it's that they didn't bother memorizing basic math. Plain and simple, we didn't bother memorizing the easy stuff. But x minus 7 times x plus 5 is where it's at, because if I was to check this, I would have an x squared plus a 5x minus a 7x minus a 35, and I'd have what I'm looking for. So anywho, now let's use factor. We use the zero product property. X minus 7 is 0, or x plus 5 is 0. These are both one-step equations. X is 7, or x is negative 5. Next one I have earmarked is number 8. The idea here would be to simplify. I noticed that both things have an x. And I also noticed that both things are divisible by 12. So I pull the 12x. If I pull a 12x, I'm left with x squared minus 4. Now, when you're looking at x squared minus 4, you might think that it doesn't factor, but it does. You can think of it as x squared plus no x minus 4. So I would be thinking factors of 4 will do 2 and negative 2, because 2 plus negative 2 is 0. X minus 2, x plus 2. Whole thing equal to 0. And again, that's how it works. We're going to use the zero product property now to solve. There's actually 3 things that set equal to 0. 12x is 0, or x minus 2 is 0, or x plus 2 is 0. Now, 12x is 0. I divide both sides by 12. And if you're pushing buttons in a calculator, God bless you. It is what it is, though. Realize you're a button pusher. Here, I would jump the 2 over, x is 2. I would jump the 2 over, x is negative 2. Moving forward. Not doing that one. Looks like I've got 12 marked. You're still going to have to set it equal to 0. If you're going to factor, you're going to set it equal to 0. That's just how it is. So we're going to move the 7x over. We're going to put it in standard form. And this is a little more complex because now not only am I thinking about factors of 3, I'm thinking about factors of 6. And I'm going to make a guess that this one is a 3x and a 2x. And you know what? Let's make a mistake. Why not? Doesn't kill you to see that mistakes can be made. The inside would give me 6x. And by the way, I have to be -3, so one's positive, one's negative. And the outside gives me -3x, and 6x minus 3x is 3x. But I needed -7. So I'm not saying that the numbers aren't 1 and 3. It's about order. Maybe a 3 here and a 1 here. Because 3 times 3 is 9x. 1 times 2 is 2x. I want -7, so I want the 9 to be negative because that will give me -7x. Called guess and check, kids. You guess and you check. There we go. Still need to use the zero product property, so 3x plus 1 is 0, or 2x minus 3 is 0. We subtract 1 from both sides. We divide by 3. X is -1/3. We add 3 to both sides. We divide by 2, or x is 3/2. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. I think this is the last one I have earmarked as 15. Not a very hard problem. We're going to clear the fractions. The opposite of dividing by 2 is multiplying by 2. I'm going to leave some space too. Now, if I do it to one side, I have to do it to the other. There's a reason I'm leaving some space. I also have this x in the bottom, and the opposite of division is multiplication. If I do it to one side, I do it to both sides. Now, on the right, when I distribute, the 2's cancel, and I'm left with x times x plus 2 equal to, because there's an equal to. On the left, the x's cancels, and 2 times 12 is 24. It'd be tempting to use the zero product property here, but the zero product property states that you are equal to a 0. Don't be that kid who tries to do that here. You have to do the distributive property. X squared plus 2x is 24. We're going to shift left so that we are equal to a 0. And then we're going to attempt to factor. So factors of 24 are probably going to be 6 and 4. And I know that 4 minus 6 is -2. So minus 6 plus 4. And then I just do the zero product property. X plus 4 is 0, or x minus 6 is 0. So x is going to be a -4, or x is going to be a 6. And that's your factoring practice, at least the ones I'm going to do. 7 of these were done for you total, because I think 2 were done on the sheet, so you got 12 to go. Have fun with that.